This is Mike Matthews, and this is Mike's Daily Podcast, episode 138 for Thursday, October 13th, 2011. Coming to you from the last place on Earth, located somewhere in Castro-Valley, California. Occupy Wall Street. Why not occupy my podcast in a sponsor message? Sponsor my podcast by emailing me at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Hey, Tea Partiers, get ready for competition. It's the emergence of the Occupy Wall Street Coalition.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
After some real good jokes on Saturday Night Live, the fever is spreading and shaking the hive.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
From New York, it has spread to near my home at the Chevron offices over in San Ramon. People saying they should not be subsidized for making gas that they charge us too much for. Thanks, guys, but this protests corporations, not just government, so Tea Partiers, they don't like them.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Watch Inside Job and you'll want to rant, even when you look beyond the liberal slant.
Mike's
It makes you mad.
Daily
The whole thing.
Podcast.
Credit default swaps.
Yeah!
Yuck. So that's what's... Oh, look who's coming in.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Shelley Shoehart, the Giftshop Supervisor.
Hi, Shelley Shoehart. How are you?
I'm great. I did not come out on National Come Out Day.
No. Do you want to come out?
No, I like boys.
Okay, but if you liked girls, you could have come out on National Come Out Day, the day of coming out around the nation.
Yes, Mike Matthews.
Are you going to come out to the Occupy Wall Street rally that's actually taking place right in front of the last place on Earth? I don't quite understand that.
Well, Mike Matthews, people just don't like you because you're a big corporation.
I'm a big monolithic corporation?
Yes, Mike Matthews.
Wow. Mike Matthews Monolithic Corporation. I like that. That's big. That scares people. It shakes them to their boots.
You don't shake me to my boots.
You're not wearing boots.
True. Point taken.
Point match.
Tennis players aren't usually part of big monolithic corporations, are they?
Oh, yeah, they are. Big time. They play the tennis. You see all the time playing tennis in their little white collar pressed shirts.
Okay, whatever, Mike Matthews.
It's true. You can ask Floyd the Floor Man, and John Deere, the engineer, just walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floor Man. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, I think you've already introduced us, so why did we just introduce ourselves? I don't know. I don't know either, but, thanks for doing that. Mike, I've seen a lot of rich people play tennis, and I have to say I'm quite impressed. They have some good calves. I would just like to point out at this point that Floyd the Floor Man and I have been working on a really cool piece of machinery that can be used at any Occupy Wall Street protest. Oh, really? Okay. Do you want to see it? Let's go outside and look. Okay, let's go right now. Wow, it's a big hot air balloon. Yes, Mike, what it is a metaphor for is how people are full of hot air. Oh, wow. Well, that's profound. Yeah, I came up with it. Good job, Floyd the Floor Man. Yes, also, when you press this button here, it begins to drop out huge chunks of cow feces. Oh! So you're also saying people are full of... Exactly. Okay. Wow. Take that, big corporations, I guess. Where can people buy this? On my website online. I'm part of a big corporation. Okay, as we go back inside. I hope you guys are going to be cleaning that up a little bit later, by the way, outside. That kind of stunk. And the protesters out there aren't going to like the smell much later either. Much. That's right, Mike. Well, I am Floyd the Floor Man. I clean floors, so... The dirt outside is nature's floor. I can clean that too. I guess if you want me to. I hate my job. I'm going outside to protest. 'Cause you're who? Floyd the Floor Man. Oh, you got me.
News Random.
If you're going to be flying soon, you might want to not listen to this story. But hopefully your airline is much better than All Nippon Airways Company, or ANA. because when one of the pilots was trying to get back into the cockpit, the co-pilot went to open the cockpit door, and I guess his arm hit a button that caused the plane to almost flip completely upside down to do a go 180. It actually only got as far as 130 degrees and then dived about 1,900 meters in 30 seconds. This is during a flight from Naha on the southern island of Okinawa to Tokyo. 2 flight attendants were slightly injured and 6 passengers became airsick or reported neck pains. Now, nobody really got too excited. It could have been a lot worse because it was at night. Nobody could see that the plane was actually starting to flip. The safety board is continuing its investigation, and a company spokeswoman said Anna will take preventative measures to make sure that pilots do a double check on where the controls are located as they leave and return the cockpit. I think I've got one of those buttons that flips me upside down. It's called a wah button. It's usually what I press when I go to get gas. It costs that much now? Wah? Actually, prices are falling, but you still go, it was around $3 last year. This time last year, it was around $3. Now here it is at $3.69 is the lowest I've seen it. But we're outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast.
And here's today's podcast picture.
This is a picture from our trip to Germany, which was over 2 years ago now. And we were in Rothenburg, this town that was like a little fairy book village, very like Disneyland, Fantasyland area. Just amazing, the pointy roofs and everything. And this is a picture from that. I got to thinking about it because we were looking for something to watch. We were on Hulu and we were searching all the stuff that they have. And we found this guy named Rick Steve. And he goes out and he goes on these trips around the world and takes you to places you've never been and interesting travel tips and such. And he kind of talks like, this is Rick Steve. Rick Steve, I'm traveling around the world, kind of like the roaming gnome. But he has kind of a voice like that. Anyway, so he was in Rothenburg, and he's like telling us all these things in Rothenburg, and we're like, we didn't do that. We did that. We didn't do that. That was there? What? So we probably should have watched it before we went, but there you go. There's a tip for you, Rick Steve. And this show is full of tips, isn't it? Or full of something that kind of sounds like tips, but enjoy the rest of your day. If you're going to go protest, make sure to wear something that can withstand the impact of a tomato. Hopefully that's the only thing. Hopefully that won't even hit you, but some protesters get hit with some pretty deadly stuff. Tomatoes, I don't think, are one of them, unless they're being shot out of a cannon. That could be a little painful, yeah.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at podcast.blog.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!